So the underlying energy is the Five of Pentacles. So this is talking about um, lack of emotional support, lack of financial support, lack of support in general. Okay. Now, this is the poverty card, but at the same time, y'all, I'm not getting poverty from you guys. I'm not feeling like y'all are feeling lack of cash. Y'all could be, but I don't really feel that. What I do feel though is that you guys are constantly going through a struggle right now to kind of get through this time of change. Fives are initiating change and conflict, right? And as you see, there's a lot of vulnerability here. There's a lot of, lack of security here. But here's the thing. There are two people here together, and it shows that there is a path out of the situation that you're in, considering that the door is there. Like, they could, if they needed help, they could just knock on the door. Okay? But the point of all this here is that you guys are going through a struggle right now, and it could be possible. This could possibly be in regards to some habits, the way of thinking, or way of communicating, even because it's also you also have the King of Swords underneath all these these two here. And I don't think that this is a situation where someone is dishonest, but I feel like there's a lack of communication, right? So this can lead to having a lot of lack of support or lack of, lack of security, because if you're not able to communicate clearly or have that person communicate with you clearly, then you're not having that security that you need, because you don't know what's going on in their heads. However, I do feel like you guys are working through this though, because this is not a static energy. You are moving out of being in that situation, I feel, okay? This is a struggle, okay? And a struggle shows that you are trying to fight against what your situation is. So I feel like you guys are working towards a better balance for yourselves, okay? The thing here to remember here about the Five of Pentacles is that you do have some sort of connection here. And it's that's a do or die, right? So not do or die, but more of ride or die. That's what I meant to say. Ride or die relationship. Okay, as you see there, like those two right there in the picture, they could have. Let me just show you again. They could have just split up if it went their own way, but the fact that they're sticking together, that shows that there's a relationship so strong that they're carrying out the situation together. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the heart of your reading. You have the Nine of Wands, which indicates, being tired and exhausted, but having the determination to finish what you started, okay? Because this is the Nine of Wands. Nines are very close to the ending of a cycle. It's pretty much talking about how you're very close to the end, and that you just you gotta keep fighting on. Despite how difficult it may be, you know that you're right there at the edge of, this cycle. You're ready to just kind of wrap this up. And it seems like there is some wish fulfillment coming in here as well, okay? Because this is also crossed by the star. So I feel like, although you're very exhausted and you're really wanting to just kind of put down the wand and go, look, just forget it. There is hope here, guys. There is wish fulfillment here, okay? And I feel like you guys are really like one step away from actually chilling out too, because this could be a spa day, y'all. Okay, one, because let's be honest, the star talks about healing, and considering that the Nine of Wands is a lot of pressure, it's a lot of tense energy, defensiveness. You're going to need to heal after that anyway. But the point of all of this is you're getting to a certain goal. You're getting to a certain point. The reason why you haven't put the wand down yet is because you are trying to get to a certain goal or period in your life. And I think this is what you're trying to get towards, wish fulfillment. Okay. Where's my cards at so we can clarify this, okay? Well, I just want to know what are we striving for, right? This could be, like I said, communication, death. Okay, so Death is what's coming up as the wish fulfillment. So you want change. You want to let go of the old. You want to move past what wasn't working. Like, this is why the reason why we're in the Five of Pentacles energy, or the reason why the Five of Pentacles even exists, is because of the Four of Pentacles. It took the risk. It left what was left. Left the things that they knew behind, the comfort, the security that they had with the things that they, that they obtained over a certain period of time, and they went and tried something new. And of course, it's going to leave you kind of feeling bare, naked, and all that goodness. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that you are pretty much changing how you see things, how you gain things, right? You're changing the way that you are, the way that you behave when you had stepped out of the Four of Pentacles energy and stepped into the Five of Pentacles. You're in a more, I don't know, I don't want to say dangerous environment, but an environment where it causes you to look at, your surroundings and to pretty much really embed what you've been through, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, in the past here, you guys had the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is talking about slow, meticulous energy that you guys have been using to really kind of get your stuff in check. Okay. You guys have possibly been very paying attention to the details, really looking before you move. And honestly, this is totally unlike you, Leo, okay? Considering that you're a fire sign, and fire signs move rather fast, pretty fast, like very close to air signs. This energy isn't yours, right? Like, it's not, I'm not saying that you guys can't go slow. If you guys want to go slow, you go slow. But at the same time, it's alarming when you guys, especially you Leos, to go slow, because that means that you guys aren't necessarily sure about something at the same time. You want to be absolutely sure, and if you're not absolutely sure about something, you're going to go slow and take your time. So this indicated to me that there was some really slow energy here. There was some paying attention to the details, some things that you just kind of weren't aware of. You're very cautious, and you guys are usually just like, on a whim, kind of just, be led by your heart, right? There's no stopping you. There's no thinking about it first. Usually it's just, you just do your thing, and you figure it out later. You know what I'm saying? Because planning, it takes the fun out of things. So when you're slow and you're cautious, that means that something's up. Let me see. A Page of Wands. Okay, so perhaps there was some news or maybe some action that was taking place that made you kind of cautious, right? So let me just pull one more. What's this action? The Star, yo. Okay, so I feel like, why is the Star coming up? So I feel like maybe there was a certain action that's like, so the reason why you're cautious is because there's some sort of action that was done that had something to do with a wish fulfillment. Maybe there was a bit of excitement, or maybe you were cautious about, I guess, your wish coming true in regards to some excitement coming up. I feel like there was like, I don't want to say too good to be true energy, but there was just something that lit the fire, and it was good, but I think you were maybe it wasn't necessarily caution per se, more savoring the moment. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that you guys had to do. Okay, there's a lot of healing. I think the process of all of this at the end of the day was healing, right? You're just getting your stuff back together, getting your stuff on track. I think this is working on healing from certain actions done or something, because considering that the Devil and the King of Swords was underneath the Five of Pentacles, I feel like there was either some behavioral or some action-oriented stuff. Okay, so I'm not getting nothing. All right. Yeah, so I feel like you guys were either cautious or really slow due to some some sort of, I guess, advance, possibly. Or some sort of news that was received, and you guys are healing from that. So that's why you guys are kind of taking it slow, because it was just something that kind of was out of the blue. I don't know if this was wish fulfillment, or this could have been someone that was really, that was trying to bring the spice back, and you're just saving every moment, just being very cautious and noticing why there wasn't a lot of action in or passion in the first place. That could have been that as well. That's what I'm getting here. But I feel like you guys were definitely very cautious and very meticulous in the past. You guys were moving very slow for a particular reason. Whether it was to savor it or to be cautious about why everything was happening the way it was happening. But the thing here is, which is really good news, is that you guys have the world as your present card. Okay, so this is talking about you guys in the process of wrapping things up. This is a time of where you kind of can appreciate the things that the effort and the hard work that you guys went through. Because let's be honest, the Knight of Pentacles is one hell of a hard worker. Okay, he makes sure that although he's very slow, but he's very dedicated to his craft. He's dedicated to getting to point A to point B and with no fail. Okay, because let's think about it. If he plans and is slow like that for that amount of time, there's no way he can fail. Okay, I mean, there's a chance where you could be possibly overthinking it, but that's not the case. You guys were paying attention to things and noticing things that can help you, I guess, get out of this sort of struggle. But I feel like this is talking about a struggle together, but it's really wrapping things up because now that you've recognized the lack of clarity in the way someone speaks or someone's communicating, that's a step forward. That's a way to kind of push yourself through to the other side of where you have the Page of Cups in your future. Okay, so the Page of Cups definitely is amazing, especially since like I said, the King of Swords is all about communication, right? He's very clear cut and very precise. He knows truth, etc. I feel like the Page of Cups is just talking about that you noticed certain things, and that things were done by actions rather than by words, and you need communication to get you there. And I feel like this habit of not having this conversation could lead you having the right conversations or being able to communicate in a way that's better developed for you in the relationship. It's finally hitting a spot where you guys are able to communicate emotionally and open up with your partner in a more romantic setting. Now, for some of you guys, if you don't have a partner, this is just plain. This could be simply just like getting through a period where you weren't exactly so open, maybe a little bit more reserved, and you have now the know-how of communicating and expressing your emotions right now. I think this is great. Okay, let's see what else. What do we get for the future? I want to know. Like, what are we communicating? What is the Page of Cups communicating here? All right. Ooh. Okay. So this is okay. I like this. Okay, so this is telling me right now, okay, there was a bit of communication, right? That was not the greatest, all right? The communication in that area was just, But since you guys have gotten to this point where you guys are wrapping things up, noticing the issues, catching on to, certain habits and behaviors, you are able to, I think the future is coming up to be very bright where you guys are able to open up about your, how you feel, and in essence, bring about a new beginning for your relationship. This is great, y'all. Oh my God. Okay. Now, the best path to follow and the crowning energy, your goal, aim, and ambition is Judgment. Now, Judgment comes up because obviously this is the last card before the world, right? And since you are here, and since you are literally about to cross that threshold, or you're in the process of crossing that threshold right now, this is basically asking you to reflect, to look back, to really see the process, the progress that you guys have made for yourselves in this relationship. You guys went through it too. You guys had, things that you had to learn for yourself. But at the end of the day, you guys made your relationship work. You guys went through and, got through all the problems. This should be a moment of realizing that you've come so far and you've put in so much work that, this new beginning is this ending of a cycle in the best way possible. It's going to be worth the reward. But I think here too is that when times get tough, especially like right now, since it's the ending of the cycle, you're ending it now, right? It's not exactly ended yet because it's, it's not in the past, right? So it's right now. This is like when things get tough, when you're ready to just kind of throw in the towel, don't, okay? I mean, that's me, but like, figure out what's best for you, right? Figure out what is best for you. Now, I feel like with everything that you guys have been through, this is a time for you to reflect and really ask yourself and take a course of action. Where are you going to put the wand down, or are you going to carry that through to the future? Now, any way works, okay? The future is, your future is foreseeing that you guys are going to have new love, okay? New love. Whether it is to do whatever you decide to do, end the relationship, continue the relationship, whatever you decide to do, there's new love there. So there's nothing really kind of, guaranteeing any of this stuff though, okay? I can't guarantee it, but I feel like judgment is telling you to really look back and see all the work that you've done. Is it possible, or is it, what is your judgment for this situation? What are you going to do? What are you going to do for this situation? And pretty much how are you going to be ending this cycle here? Okay? So I really think that this is a really good reading, y'all. I'm sorry the focus is acting out. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like, this is great. Despite the whole communication thing, I feel like it's gonna be all right, because you guys, like I said, you guys have really paid attention to the things that weren't working for either one of you. So I think that's awesome. Romance angels, y'all have getting to know each other, okay? And this says, as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Okay, y'all have gotten that communication, bad habit stuff wrapped up tight. Okay, that's all that says to me. So I feel like this is all it was about, right? You guys got to know each other in a more like behavioral, like passionate sense, like how you guys do things, what you guys like to do, what is your creativity. But you guys, I don't know. I think that there was a situation where you guys could not get to, get to a point where you guys talk about what your interests were, what was your, like, politics, whatever. And I think that is what kind of was limiting, the whole thing with your relationship. But I think after really noticing that and really paying attention to details and working on those issues, you guys can really start to get to know each other and communicate the best way that you guys can. Okay? I think that's awesome. Woo! Amen. All right. And y'all have happy. So considering that the world is in your present, this is why I feel like it's coming up, because it's actually, as well as the judgment, because this is talking about like how much work you've put into gain such a, a pretty good, situation. I think that because you've ended this, because you're ending a cycle, and because you probably feel really stressed out right now, considering that the Nine of Wands is in the problem circumstance. You guys are having your wish fulfilled. You guys are going to have that wish fulfillment here, and you guys are. I feel like everything will be balanced. I just feel like right now, especially with happy coming up, this is a time for y'all to be okay, and not be okay, but necessarily, but to just notice the change in the work that you put in. Give yourself a pat on the back, because this is hard. Working things out the way, you want them to be is difficult. So I feel like right now what it's really asking you guys to do is really be proud of yourselves. Really be proud of yourselves, because this is not easy. And the fact that you kind of got to this point now where you're like, where you can communicate with your partner in the way you want to, or the person that you're dating, that's good. You guys need to be happy for yourselves right now, just because you went through such a thing. And it's not over yet, though. I mean, there is a little bit to do. That's why you have judgment as your crowning energy. Look back. Really see the work that you put in. Is it worth going forward? All those things. But at the end of the day, though, you did put in a lot of work. And you got to commend yourself for that, guys. You got to give yourself, some love for this, because this is good. All right, Leo, I'm going to let y'all go. I'm sorry for just going on and on about this. And look at this. Look at the underlying energy sorry, the card for, you know, my clarifying deck. Knotted Cups. You guys, go ahead and charge what you want. Get what you want, guys. Go ahead.